Yeah. Week one.
Week one.
Week
Here
one.
we go.
And you have done your, so,
Um,
oh, you've done your, let me just turn that off, otherwise I'll get loads of notifications. Um, you've done your exams.
I have. I
Yeah.
have. They're done. I don't know how I've done. Won't find out until the 27th of October. Um, but yeah, they're all finished.
They've finished,
They
and then
have.
hopefully, fingers
Hopefully.
crossed, we'll be with 22nd. Is it 22nd of November graduation?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah.
Yes. We are manifesting it. We've
Yes.
passed, everything's fine, we're done. Don't know what I'm gonna do with my Tuesdays anymore. They're not full of
More
lectures and
lectures.
studying
No
anymore.
more lectures.
I
But no,
know.
it's done, which is the main thing.
It is, yes, very, very exciting. So yeah, got the final one done yesterday.
Case.
All submitted yet. Case studies was the long one. Those 2.5 hours though absolutely flew. Like
Yeah.
I've never known 2.5 hours go so quick in my life. Like it was mad. But yeah, now we just have to wait and see.
Yes, fabulous. So we'll have two of us potentially with
We
the
will.
MNU. That's good.
I
Really.
know. Very good.
So you can put that notification thing.
I can. I can put letters after my name and everything.
You can, yeah. You can put more letters after your name than me.
I can. Look at that. There we go.
Cool. So first week, I'm reading through the check-in forms. It's all started off strongly, which is
hmm
great. Um, so people got back into the routines, back into sort of tracking and the workouts. And yeah, I've had a couple of messages from people saying legs are sore and
Yes.
which is good.
Yeah.
Which is normal. I've started a new program the last 2 weeks, and I have to say, although I've started a new program, I've dropped the weights a little bit. I am still feeling DOMS. Although today they're not DOMS, they're not delayed, they're instant.
Oh.
Instant muscle soreness. I did two sessions. I missed yesterday's. This is not me recommending anything. I missed yesterday's leg session, so I did my leg session first thing in the morning. And then I did my upper body session early on in the afternoon, thinking I could do two back to back, but you forget just how much a good leg session
Yeah,
takes out of the old energy stores. And yeah,
100%. If you don't fuel back up in between, you're gonna
yeah.
struggle.
This is one of the late question that's added is actually I'll cover some of that. So we've got two questions, and then there's a couple of things that discussion topics that I thought might be interesting. First question is from Ree. She's going out for a curry tomorrow night.
Nice.
Any tips for better options, or should I just enjoy myself and not stress about calories? I will let you, seeing as you've just done the case studies, I'll let you go with that one.
There's a couple of different ways that you can approach it. So you can have a little look at the menu beforehand and have a little look. I feel like I'm going to sneeze, so apologies. Have a little look on like some of the tracking apps and see if any of the options that you like are the lower calorie. The ones you want to avoid is anything that's a really like creamy sauce. So like anything that's like your kormas. Even the chicken tikka like masalas, they've got quite a bit of cream in them as well. Um, some of them are more like tomatoey based though, so they're not as bad like your Rogan Josh and your Dan Sack's not a bad one if you prefer it a bit spicier.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I'd if you wanted to, then avoid anything that's sort of more creamy or your buttered chickens, anything like that. And then think about your carbs as well. Like so if you're going to go for those, maybe pick like a plain rice rather than anyone's got everything else in and like the naan breads and things. So that'd be one option. Try and like the other thing to think about is actually having those couple of poppadoms with your mango chutneys. That's going to quickly add in extra calories that you probably don't necessarily need. And having like the starters, the onion bhajis, all of those things. So yeah, if you want to go in and think, right, how can I do this? Sort of stick to my calorie range that I've got. That's one way to do it is have a little look at it beforehand. Other thing you can do is maybe reduce calories slightly in the day. So have like a slightly smaller breakfast, slightly smaller lunch. Wouldn't advise completely skipping meals because then you're likely to be hungrier and then potentially overeat. But the other thing is if you're like, oh, but my favorite's a chicken korma. My partner, that's the only thing he'll eat from the Indian. And a big cheesy naan and his pilau rice. And you know what? If you think that's me, that's fine. You can have that, except that the scales are going to go up and it will take a few days for them to come back down. Um, but draw a line under it and then just go again as normal on Saturday. Like, don't then think, oh, well, I really need to cut back. I'm going to have to literally starve myself today to make up for it. Like, that's not the best way to approach it. Um, so I would say there'd be like your two main approaches for it. Um, you can be quite flexible even if you ended up reducing calories slightly over the next few days. Sort of balance yourself back out, also absolutely fine. Um, but yeah, if you want to go out and enjoy it, that'd be one way. Or if you want to be a bit more mindful, have a little look beforehand and pick the options that will work best for you and your goals.
I think the key thing is it's still, like you say, just still be mindful.
Mm,
Don't one of the reasons these things can derail people is they have that and then they think, oh, I've ruined it, and then that one meal then turns into several days where they're off
yeah,
track. And like you say, just draw a line, just draw a line
yeah,
through it. Listen to your hunger cues, eat to satisfaction,
yeah,
share things where you can. Like especially the kind of carbs, share rice, share a naan, and don't overorder on the sides. The only other thing I would this is just what I would normally go for in situations like that. I tend to go for some of the tandoori stuff. So like the tandoori
yes, the dry bits.
skewers, because there's very little sauce. Most places I go to, I get the same. It's the tandoori tikka chicken skewer. It normally comes with a yogurt mint dip and a salad, and then I order the rotis or the
Yes,
flatbreads instead of a naan. I'll just have those, a couple of those, and you effectively it's filling.
yeah,
It's high protein, not loads of carbs, not too much fat, and you've had a meal, feel like you've had something that tastes nice, and I really enjoy it. And I know a couple of people who've gone, oh yeah, that's a good option, tried it, and then they've really, really enjoyed it. But like you say, if there's only certain things that you like and they are more calorific, have it, enjoy it, don't feel guilty and get back
yes,
on track. And it's like you say, yes, your scale weight might be higher, but that's not, you cannot, just remember, you cannot put on pounds and pounds of fat on overnight. It's
yeah,
just not possible. That extra weight's going to be the water weight from the carbs, extra food in the stomach, and then a couple of days later, you're back to
you're
normal.
fine.
Yeah.
Other thing, as well, is thinking about like what drinks you're having. So if you are out, just be mindful of that. If you're having alcohol, they can quickly add up as well. And then again, it's that bloatedness, the extra in your stomach when you step on the scale. So
Yeah.
again, just be mindful of drinks as well when you're out. Um, but yeah, there'd be sort of your main ways to approach it.
Yeah. 100%. Question number two. Should I have a particular number of rest days in a week? Um, right, I'll take this one. First of all, there's no real magic number.
Hmm.
Um, and there's a number of factors this depends on. It depends on like your experience, what we call your training age. It depends on your program, like how the program's written, and also kind of the intensity of the training that you're doing. For most people, if they are starting out training, and certainly for the first 1 to 2 years, you are still a beginner, right? Even people who've been training weight training for 2 years, I would say you're still a beginner. From 2 to like 5 or 6 years, you're kind of intermediate, and then once you get to sort of 6, 8, 10 years, you're becoming more advanced. And I would still consider myself, I've been doing this like training consistently for 10 years, and I would say I'm probably upper end intermediate. I
Yeah.
wouldn't say I'm advanced. Um, when you're starting out as a beginner, anywhere between 2 and 4 sessions a week. So that gives you, well, if you did 3 or 4 sessions, that giving you 3 to 4 rest days. And when we say rest days, it's not a case of doing nothing, it's resting. So if you're strength training, it's resting the muscles that you've used. So if you're doing 3 workouts, generally you're going to be doing mostly full body. So certainly the way that I write most of my programs, you do a full body push, full body pull, and then a full body workout. So you kind of using everything. So
Yeah.
it's kind of workout, rest, workout, and then 2 rest days. If you add stuff in like running and things like that, then I would suggest maybe doing, if you're doing strength, run, rest, and do it like that. Um, but as you become more advanced and your workouts start to change a little bit, and you start maybe doing 4 or 5 workouts a week, because you don't have to, even advanced trainers don't have to do 5 workouts a week or 6 workouts a week. Um, but if you are doing sort of more than 4, then you're looking at training specific body parts. So I've got a 5-day workout. I do chest and triceps, back and biceps, legs, and then a full upper and a full lower. So I tend to do 3 days training. So push, pull, legs. And that way, you if I'm doing a pull workout, I'm not working the same muscles that I've done with the push. And then obviously when I do my leg workout, I'm not working my upper body muscles as much. And so they're resting in between. And then I'll do upper and lower. And again, you're working different muscles and you're allowing the muscles to rest in between. The recommended amount is sort of at least 24 hours, but preferably 48 to 72 hours. So 2 to 3 days between working a muscle group. And that's important. So it's not just training the muscle that's important for muscle growth, it's allowing the recovery afterwards. Because if you just constantly train, you overtrain the muscle and you're not allowing for that recovery in between. So you don't get the benefit, you don't get the growth, you don't get that adaptation. So rest is as important as the actual training itself. And this is why when people say, "Oh, I've missed a workout, I'm going to try and do 3 on the trot," you better just go, "No, if you've missed a workout, you can do, and let's say you've got 3, you've missed one, don't try and do 3 workouts on a trot. Do one rest day workout and do it that way. Because rest is important. All right. And it's the same with trying to do, this is why we say don't try and do lots and lots of intense cardio and stuff like that. So, and your rest days, you can do active rest, but it's gentle exercise. It could be a walk. Um, at the most, a light jog. Yeah. Or you could go on a bike ride or something that's active that's not too intense, not too stressful. But absolutely, yeah, rest is important. Um, if you have you can fall into the trap of thinking more, doing more is going to be better for you. But actually, for fat loss, for building muscle, for increasing fitness, less is more. Yeah, it's really important. So, don't think, right, I've got to do something every single day. It could be that you exercise 4 days a week. Now, I know the person who said this, they're doing two or three gym sessions. They've got a dance class, and they're doing 2 gym sessions. They've got a weight or resistance based class and a dance class. That's perfect. If you're going to do a weight session and a dance class, have a rest day, then do a gym class, and then maybe another weight session, and then resting in between. So yeah, absolutely. Uh, Dead important rest. It allows the muscles to recover. It allows your nervous system to recover, because that's one of the other things as well people don't realize. Um, you are really working your central nervous system, all the nerves and the brain that control your muscles, you actually fatigue that. So you do need that to recover as well. So yeah, so at least 1 full day of rest in between, preferably 2. Um, and on those rest days, active rest, stretching, mobility work, light jog at most, preferably walking. But yeah, I think I've covered everything there.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Cool. Right. Discussion points. I don't know about you, but I think my feed is probably slightly skewed, seeing as I'm a personal trainer and it's full of fitness instructors and fitness influencers. But it seems like they're all advertising either 6 or 8 week shreds. And then
Hmm.
the other one I've seen, and this is another point that we'll discuss in a minute, is loads of supplements, loads of quick fix powders and pills and things like that. Um,
Yeah.
but I'll deal with the 6 week shred. Um, how many times have you fallen for like a 6 week shred sort of? I know.
Um, Oh gosh, I actually don't know, I don't know if I ever did buy into any. What did I though? I did the booty when that was a thing. Do you remember that
Yeah.
one?
Yeah.
What else did I do on my pass? All like your generic Weight Watchers Slimming World ones, bit of Joe Wicks. That's like a bit of a cycle type thing that promises you're gonna have abs for days in what's that on 12 weeks, I think.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so a couple of them, but yeah, they are everywhere, aren't they?
Yeah. And I know the gym that I work out of, they're all advertising their 8 week fat loss boot camps.
Yeah.
One of them's calling it, oh God, it's Slay, but obviously spelt SLEIGH, ready for Christmas. And it's all focusing on getting into the outfit for Christmas and getting in shape. It's the same as you hear in April, May, get in shape for your summer holidays. It's the same that you get in January, you know,
Mm.
your summer body, all of these quick fix sort of things. The key, and this is what we always say, the key is to try and build habits and routines that last a long time, last forever.
Yeah.
Um, and I had a client today this morning who's just a prime example of that. I've trained her now for just over 3 years.
Mm.
It took me 18 months to get her out of the mindset of quick fixes. And now she's just got a really good balance of 4 gym sessions a week, 4 weight sessions a week. Again, as I described, as we've done now, so she does a push pull legs and then a full body. Um, and she's got rest days in between. She's doing some running as well. So she's actually signed up for a half marathon. She's doing the Potter's Half, which around here is well, actually, nationally, it's known as one of the hardest half marathons you can do. Uh,
Wow.
it's got a particular stretch called Heartbreak Hill. Anybody who's done the
Heard
Potter's
of
Half,
that.
yeah, Heartbreak Hill is an absolute killer. It's just for like a mile uphill.
Gross.
It is gross. So she's doing that, but it's that kind of it's just consistency and habit. She regularly runs, but she doesn't do like miles and miles and miles. It's sort of anywhere between 5 and 10K, 2 or 3, well, 2 times a week. She runs a couple of times a week. She does 4 strength sessions. She rests. When she rests properly, and she's just found a really good habit and routine. Now, scale weight wise, in those 3 years, she's lost 7 kilos, which doesn't sound like a lot. But when we look at her before and after photos, like when you look at the photos of where she started and where she is now, the difference is phenomenal. She's got built muscle in 3 years. She's built probably somewhere between I'd say 5 to 6 kilos of muscle. So getting
Yeah.
on for a stone worth of muscle within the 3 years, um, which means that if she's lost a stone of weight, she's actually probably lost 2 stone of body
Yeah.
fat, which is why the body shape is completely different. And her comment today was, "Look, I've got a waist." Which is and that's the thing. When we looked at her photos originally, she was just literally straight up and down, whereas now
Yeah.
she's got a waist, she's got a physique that she's really proud of, and she can see the difference in it, and it's getting her out of that fast, quick fix mindset and just
Yeah.
consistently building those habits where she can go for a curry, and not stress about it because she knows literally that one meal is nothing, gets back into the normal routine, and yeah, is just looking forward to keeping building the challenges. The next challenge is trying to do 5 bodyweight pull-ups on the trot. You can do 2 now, so we're looking at 5, and then deadlifting twice body weight, which we're not far off. So yeah, absolutely, just anything like that. Um, Quick fixes, 6 to 8 week shreds, stuff that is overly strict is completely against what we're trying to, that curry, if you're doing the 6 to 8 week shreds, going out for a curry,
Absolutely not.
no,
You kicked out, you're done.
and actually what you want is that flexible approach where you
Yeah.
can go away on a holiday. You can, like we've said over the 6 week summer holiday, if you've got kids, if you can go and through that and maintain your body weight, that is
Yeah.
fantastic. and you can go and enjoy yourself and learn how to fit all of these things in. So
Yeah.
that's the one thing I would say, the big one at the moment. Just don't, and they're great at marketing. They will try and convince you you've got a problem that you don't, and then sell you a solution that you don't need.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't fall for them. Um, Going from that, I'll go into the marketing BS, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. Have you seen the all the adverts for? There's one for creatine at the moment all over TikTok. I don't know if that's just my algorithm. Or the Free Soul. Have you seen this brand?
Yes.
And you'll have seen Nutrition Geeks as well, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah. Then I've also seen the good videos by James Smith about the creatine gummies as well.
Oh
So,
yeah,
so
I
if
know.
anyone needs to watch anything,
But the one that got me is the Free Soul one, and
Mm,
actually, they it frustrates me because there's one for creatine at the moment, Free Soul creatine,
mm,
um, and this because it's a big thing, creatine. It is at the moment. They've actually caught up with what we've been saying for years, um, but they're trying to sell this product at Free, and I think it's 200 grams for about £7, which isn't a bad price. Yeah. And you can get 400 grams for about £12 or something like that, which is about right.
mm.
That's a deal at the moment. And they're marketing it directly to women. They're saying that this is pure creatine that is specifically designed for women. So it's creatine monohydrate. That's what it says on the packet when you look at it. It is creatine monohydrate, which is the same as the creatine monohydrate that I take, which is not specifically designed, none of it's specifically designed for women. That product normally is twice the price. You're paying about 20 quid for 200 grams. I've seen tubs that they've slapped a pink label on and they're charging 40 quid for 300 grams, which is four times the price that you can get it for from
Yeah.
Amazon or Home Bargains or anywhere like that. It's about 11 quid for 300 grams, which depending on the amount, well, if you take a scoop a day, it's 2 months worth. Yeah, 2 months worth. So just be careful of that. The other one is things like collagen. They
Yeah, that's a
be
huge one,
selling
isn't it?
collagen. There's oh, what's her name? Davinia Taylor. She
Heard
was
of
on
her.
Hollyoaks. She's an act. She was in Hollyoaks. She's got a massive following on Instagram, over 1 million people. She's gone down the primal carnivore diet route at the moment. And she's jumped on the she's perimenopausal. She's in her 40s, perimenopausal. So she's jumped on that perimenopause bandwagon and she's selling lots and lots of products like powders and energy powders, potions, and things like that. Um, and again, marketed directly towards women, perimenopausal women. And she's selling these powders for like 20, 30, 40 quid a pound.
Yeah.
And there is no evidence for it. But what she's doing, and this is something you've got to be really careful of, is sort of hitting the pain points, really latching on to some of this stuff around, especially around perimenopause, and it is massive, rightly so, it is massive at the moment. People are being made more aware of it, but you've just got to be careful of charlatans because there is absolutely there's no evidence to what she's saying, and because she knows the symptoms, some of the information she gives is sort of right. You could probably, it's dangerous. It's something called the 80-20 rule. 80% of what she says is either almost right, right, almost right, or believable. And then you get the other 20%, which is the kind of marketing BS. So what I would say is any claim that you see, we've got some fantastic tools on the internet now. If you copy it and paste it into Google and ask Google to fact check it, Google AI will give you the lowdown, or you could do it in ChatGTP. Just cut and paste it, copy the information, and then just go, right, find me the source where this has come from. Especially if they give you numbers or facts, find me the source this has come from, fact check it, tell me, give me the pros and cons, and it will give you a balanced overview, and it will tell you whether it's worth it or not.
Yeah.
Another site you can use is something called examine.com, examine.com. The free version of that, you just type in the ingredient and it'll give you the lowdown on it, whether it's worth it or not. But any claim where they're selling you a supplement, double check it, because some of this stuff, it costs like,
Yeah.
I mean,
So expensive, and you
I've
don't
seen,
need it.
yeah, I've seen collagen powders where, and greens powders and stuff like that, where they're saying, some of the pre and probiotic powders that they're selling you to sort your gut health out, and it's like they're selling it for like 80 quid a month. And if you speak to people who are gastroenterologists in the medical profession, they're like, no, it's not worth it. It doesn't work. Um, the one phrase that you've got to watch out for as well is that this is something the medical profession don't want you to know, or
Yeah.
this is the one secret that your doctor doesn't want you to know. And they're like telling you that the pharmaceutical industry and the medical industry are out to make money. They're not wrong. They are. The pharmaceutical industry are out to make money. But this is the bottom line, and this is something that might shock you. So the pharmaceutical industry is worth $1.6 trillion a year,
Fact
which
check that, guys.
which is a ton of money.
Is a
The
lot.
wellness industry, the industry that surrounds like all the supplement market and stuff like that, is worth four times as
Yeah.
much, six point
Crazy.
four trillion
Wow.
dollars a year. Um, Pharmaceutical industry, their drugs have to go through so much rigorous testing and checking and stuff that before it comes to market,
Yeah.
supplements don't. And this is where the James Smith comes in.
Yeah, with the creatine gummies that don't actually contain creatine
Yeah,
because no one's regulating that industry. And yeah, it is really hard to know what should you take, what shouldn't you. If you ever see anything you think, oh, that looks interesting, you can always just pop us a message and be like, what do you think?
yeah,
We'll probably tell you you don't need it. But yeah, it's so difficult out there now because there's so much of it. And you're getting it from all angles and it's everywhere. It's so heavily marketed
yeah.
that it's really hard to know what to believe,
And
definitely.
you get, if you get an influencer telling you that you should be taking something, just think this, ask yourselves this, are they an expert in that?
Yeah.
Are they going to be making any money from it? Because if they're not an expert, and if the answer is, are they going to get any money? Look for it. Is it hashtag ad?
Yeah.
Do they have like, and they should
Affiliated
be
link, all of
declaring,
those things.
yeah,
Yeah.
they should be declaring if they're getting paid for it. Um, you know, if you want to find out who to trust, the best people to trust are if you ask them a question, they don't give you a yes or no answer. Quite often the answer is it depends, which is quite often something that we say when people say, well, okay, what's the
Best
best
of
thing
the,
to
yeah.
take?
It depends.
Depends. Because, we're all different. We are completely different. And people might give you sort of, yeah, I did this and it worked really, really well for me. What works for one person doesn't work for everybody else. And, anecdotal evidence is not, it's right down in terms of the scale of kind of evidence and stuff and proof. Anecdotal evidence is
Yeah.
right at the bottom, right? If you want proper evidence, you were looking at randomized controlled trials, meta-analyses of studies where they take loads of studies and they compile all of the data and see what that all says. Um, those are the gold standards. If somebody's written if somebody sort of refers to, look, this is the evidence and it's a blog post or it's an opinion piece, that's not real evidence. And anybody who sort of gives you things in absolutes, where they demonize certain single individual ingredients, or they big up single individual kind of supplements, just be wary, just be mindful. In
Yeah.
terms of supplements, there's kind of three or four standard ones. Creatine, everybody should be taking creatine, in my opinion. Um, Unless you've got kidney function problems, everybody should take creatine. It's the most researched supplement. It's very safe across all age groups. 3 to 5 grams a day is a standard thing. If you're going through perimenopause, then you can double that dose, but I would suggest you split it to avoid any gastrointestinal stuff. They've just done stuff on out some research on Alzheimer's to suggest that doses up to 20 grams a day can actually help reverse some of the symptoms. Not going to reverse Alzheimer's, but reverse some of the symptoms and reduce the symptoms of it. So the stuff is it's a fantastic supplement. It's not going to give you like massive instant results, but over time those results build and muscle preservation, bone preservation, mental brain function and cognitive health, reduction of depressive symptoms, reduction in your risk of things like dementia or Alzheimer's. Loads and loads of benefits there. That's number one. Number two, vitamin D. Everybody in the UK should be taking that. I would recommend somewhere between 1,000 to 2,000 IU, which is 25 to 50 micrograms. If you've got deficiency, then you can take more, but you need a blood test to confirm that. And then the third one is omega-3s.
Yeah.
That's it. And you know,
All you
if
need.
yeah, and if you've got deficiencies that your doctor said, "Oh, you are low in iron," or as my eldest son was, as I think all university students probably are, because they don't eat any veg, he was low in folate, so he was given a folate supplement to bring it up. So if you are if you have a blood test and the doctor says yes, you're deficient in this, then take a supplement. But other than that, creatine, vitamin D, omega-3s, done.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's what we're taught on the MNU course.
100%. There's a whole list of them, but it's all very
Yeah.
sport specific, person specific,
Yeah.
specific, other than those ones. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you know, if you're doing a specific sport, if you are training for endurance events, if you're, there are things like L-carnitine and there's theanine and loads of other things.
Mm.
Beetroot juice, is beetroot juice one? I think that's
Yeah.
one. Yeah,
And cherry juice as well.
yeah, cherry
Yeah.
juice. There are things that can help with recovery and stuff if you're training at high intensities, but
Yeah.
for the average general population, creatine, vitamin D, omega-3s, done.
Yeah.
There's no evidence for anything else. Even collagen, there's
Yeah.
very, very little evidence.
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely.
yeah. All right, last one. Carbohydrates and menopause myth busting. I did a post on this week and put it up, but I thought it's a really apt one. And we'll go through it dead quick. Because there's loads again. I saw a couple of posts up coming up about cutting carbs when you're in perimenopause.
Mm.
Bottom line, don't.
Yeah.
Don't. Carbohydrates, main energy source for your brain as well as your body. It's the body's preferred energy source. But there's two real things here that are going to benefit, particularly women in perimenopause. One is muscle retention. So carbohydrates have a preservative effect on muscles, so particularly post-exercise. So, you know, after you've done a strength training session, try and get a source of carbs and protein in, and that's going to help with the repair and building muscle. And then the other thing as well, carbohydrates and the right sort of carbohydrates are going to help with things like blood sugar control, glucose control, cholesterol control, energy kind of levels, and your cravings and things across the day. So, key recommendations: try and get your carbs earlier in the day. So, protein and carbs for breakfast. So, that could look like something like an overnight oats or baked oats. It could be something like a whole grain bread with some eggs, and not just one egg, but three or four eggs. So, you
Yeah.
can have eggs on toast. Um, you know, you could have a protein shake with berries in there as well to get your carbs and your fiber in, some oats in there. So, an oats-based smoothie. Um, but just complex carbs. So your whole grains, porridge oats, whole grain bread, something like that. A good source of protein, Greek yogurt, whey protein, eggs, something like that. Earlier on in the day, carbs for lunch, a small portion, and then maybe a slightly reduced portion at night. Because one of the things that it could, and again, this is down to individuals, so it depends. But for a lot of women, carbohydrates, if it spikes your insulin, it there are suggestions that that spike in insulin and a sudden drop could trigger things like hot flushes and stuff at night and make sleep little bit difficult. So I'm not saying no carbs, but a smaller amount of carbs in your evening meal. So try and front load your carbohydrates in the day, but they are really, you need them.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
anybody who tells you to cut carbohydrates as a woman in perimenopause, just don't follow them.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. They're wrong.
They are wrong. That it's all the evidence, all the research, all the evidence and everything like that absolutely suggests. And I think I did put something together. It's on the resource hub. It's in the education part. Have a read through that and it gives you lots of hints and tips on carbohydrates. But yeah, good. I think that's everything.
Yeah, I think so.
Fabulous. Right. Next week, it won't, I don't know if you could do a Wednesday.
I'm away. I could do Friday.
I'm away.
You're
Um,
away.
what we'll do then, guys, is next week there won't be a live call on the Thursday. I will try and I might do a little bit of a podcast style thing on my own on Wednesday after I've packed, just a really quick one, just based on. And what I might do is just put a little post in the group, just say if you've got any questions, you can fill the forms in on Thursday as normal, but I'll just say, look, if you've got any questions, anything you want to go through, particularly any of the stuff that we've talked about tonight, if there's any specific questions there, and then I'll do a short one on Wednesday. But there won't be a live call recording thing on Thursday because you're away on the Wednesday. Is that your
Wednesday, I'm in Centre Parks. Thursday's my gala, my black
Ah,
tie gala.
very nice. And yeah, and then Thursday morning, early hours of Thursday morning, I will be getting up at, I haven't told Rosie this, we've got to get up at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Lovely.
Yeah. We're flying to Budapest. It's Rosie's birthday present. We're going for 3 nights to Budapest.
Be
But
worth it.
it will be worth it. I don't mind getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's only 2 hours earlier than I normally get up, so
Exactly, you'll be fine.
I'll be fine. But yeah, I'll do a call on Wednesday. I'll do if anybody wants to join in, please do. Want to try and make these a bit more of a discussion as well. So the
Mhm.
questions will answer quite quickly, but I want to try and come up with like a topic or a discussion point that we can do most weeks and have that Q&A style of thing. Um, so yeah, let me know. Give us some feedback on that.
Yeah.
Brill. All right then, Alice. I take it you've got more training to do, have you?
I should be, but I have got so much to do to sort this wedding out that I don't think I'm going to be able to. So, unfortunately, I'll be missing a training session tonight, but it's okay because I will get my last two in for this week still. So, I'm not going to be sad about it. I'm going to be okay.
All right, guys. Have a great evening and a great rest of the week, and we will see you soon. Bye for now.
Bye.